Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to start doing weekly pregnancy updates. I'm pretty far along now into my pregnancy. I'm 33 weeks and it just seems like a lot of stuff changes throughout the week now, like preparing for labor and everything that my body is doing. So I really just wanted to have it for myself too. So, like I said, this is my week 33 of my pregnancy, and quite a few things have changed this week. I had like really bad pelvic girdle pain, or it hasn't been diagnosed as SPD, but it was pretty severe last week and the week before, to where I could barely walk, I couldn't really drive. Like, it really hurt in my pelvic area and down my leg to be able to move. This week it has lightened up and I'm really happy about that. It lightened up to the point, like, it doesn't go down my leg anymore. So if I roll over in bed, it still hurts. It just feels like it's stiff. It feels like there's like bones positioning, because they are, just from our ligaments, like during pregnancy, getting loose. So I talked to my doctor about it, of course, and they're just too loose at this point, which happens to quite a few people. It's not that common, but it can happen. And last week it was just like my hip was just completely out of place. There was a lot of grinding that would happen when I would walk, and it would pop, and a lot of stuff. So I don't know if it's because I've been paying more attention to what I can do with it and what I can't. I realized, like, I shouldn't squat. It just hurts my groin way too bad. So I've been avoiding that. I found it easier if I lay flat in bed and like put my legs completely straight before I turn to the other side. So I've been doing that, and I'll feel like a popping sensation that feels like kind of relieving when I get into that flat position, and then it doesn't hurt as bad to roll to the other side. So I've been doing that, and I haven't had as bad of pain throughout the day. It'll still hurt, like, if I lay down on my side for a while and then switch, or like get up after sitting for a while, but it usually goes away pretty quickly. It doesn't really hurt while I walk anymore. So that's something really positive that's been happening this week. I've been very emotional this week. I don't know if it has to do with the other symptom that I've been experiencing a lot lately, which is insomnia. It just seems like I have a hard time falling asleep, or I'll fall asleep and then wake right back up, and then it's just like this cycle. I haven't taken anything for it. I do have Unisom, but I'm scared to take it. Even though, like, the doctor said it was fine to take it if I needed to, I just prefer not to take anything and just have like everything be natural. But last night I slept pretty good, so it just kind of seems like I'll have 2 nights in a row that I can't sleep, I can't fall asleep, I can't stay asleep. It's just kind of rough. And then I'll have like a couple of nights in a row that I will be able to sleep and get my rest. So I don't know if that's been contributing to being emotional or not, but I would say getting emotional pretty often this week, and that has to do with like anxiety with things. I've had a lot of anxiety about food safety lately, and I've had this my whole pregnancy. That's why I've cut out a million things, and I'm gonna make a video on that as well. I'm not saying like people should follow what I'm doing, because I'm really strict with what I eat. I don't eat like artificial sweeteners, artificial colors. I eat mostly organic. I cut out red meat. I've never ate or drank caffeine, so I don't do that. But yeah, pretty much anything organic or vegan, that sort of thing, that's what I eat. But it just kind of seems like it's been a little bit more difficult this week. So that might be contributing to being emotional as well. I had one night of pretty bad like menstrual cramping, it felt like, in my lower abdominal area. And I went to OB triage for it about 2 weeks ago. They ran a bunch of tests and they just said like, could be dehydration, could be just like the baby settling down lower, that sort of thing. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I had that, and it probably lasted for about 30 minutes. They're definitely not contractions, these cramps, because they last way too long, and it's not like my whole uterus. It'll just be like down low and it'll hurt for a bit. It's pretty uncomfortable and then it'll just go away. The only thing that I've tried to do is like change positions, but it can be pretty uncomfortable, and then try to like pee a lot in case, I don't know why, but like in case that's causing cramping or something like that. I just try to do that, drink a lot of water and see if it goes away. And it did, and I went back to sleep and it was fine. One of the fascinating things that I noticed this week was if I am laying down and then I go to get up, like you can see the baby sticking out of my stomach. It's like so wild. I've tried to get like a picture or a video, but you can't really see it. It's hard to get like a good angle with like lighting to be able to show what's going on. But she'll just be sticking out as like this big hard lump, and like I can feel her inside, like where she is. So if she's really into my ribs, I can feel it, and then I'll look down and there'll be like this big lump. And most of the time it's either on like one side or the other, and it's mostly up high too. And my husband can see it, he can feel her. Like it's the craziest thing. And then once I go to like stand up, she kind of like settles back down into the womb, I guess, where that is, and then you can't see her sticking out anymore. But that's been really cool that it happens, but sometimes I honestly worry about it because I'm like, am I not supposed to be laying this way? Why did she get stuck out like this? Oh, another symptom that has happened this week is BO. So I have used like aluminum free deodorant, paraben free for a couple years now due to like my whole risk with breast cancer and that sort of thing. I haven't used deodorant frequently throughout pregnancy. Well, since I've been not working. So I stopped working week 28 to be a stay-at-home mom. And just like if I don't leave the house, if I don't have plans or anything like that with anybody, if I'm not going to see anybody, I don't put deodorant on. It just seems like a waste of money, and like if there is something bad in it that I don't know about, I'm just like avoiding it anyways. So it makes me feel better, and half the time I forget, so it's fine. I've never smelled or anything like that. The only thing that I would notice is that I would be like sweaty if like I go on a daily walk. So I'd be sweaty on that walk, and then when I come back I just take a shower anyways, and it's not a big deal. But this week there is a smell, and it's the wildest thing, and my friend is pregnant as well. She's like 5 weeks behind me, and she has noticed it too this week for herself. So it's like not BO like it is, because it is a body odor, but it kind of smells like pine needles, like gin or something. I don't know why that's been happening. It's so weird. I also noticed this week, and I don't even know how I realized this. I think I realized it because I was eating a lot of cereal. So I've been craving cereal and milk and broccoli. So I've been eating a lot of Honey Nut Cheerios. I know there's GMOs in it, and that's the only thing that I eat with GMOs. But that's me. People eat GMOs. It's fine. But I was eating a lot of cereal, and I noticed that there was tons of added vitamins, like it's a fortified food. And then I was thinking like, okay, well, I take a prenatal, like, is this a thing? So I Googled it, and it said, like, yeah, pregnant women can overdose, like, on vitamins because we're taking prenatal, and then some foods are fortified. So I calculated, like, how much calcium I eat in a day, and it was way freaking too much. And as soon as I tell someone that, they're like, okay, it's not a bad thing, like, nothing's gonna happen. But it does. It's called, like, hypercalcemia, and you can feel nauseous and get kidney stones and stuff like that. So I've been trying to just level it back down to under the safe limit per day, and it's been pretty easy. I think that day that I counted, I just ate a lot of freaking cheese. Like, cheese is my best friend. And I ate a lot of cheese that day, and I was over the safe limit. But now that I pay attention to that, it's been completely fine, and I haven't even, like, really came close anymore. I'm always, like, 500 milligrams under the safe limit. Has that been helping? I don't know. I don't know. And I noticed yesterday that the veins in my stomach, like, on the sides, are very noticeable, and they weren't noticeable before. So they're very greenish blue. So I've noticed, like, that's been happening. I think my stomach's, like, gotten bigger this week, so I think that's why. And I just feel like there's more pressure in that area in general. I mean, she gains like half a pound a week now, so it's to be expected. So that's something that I noticed. This week, I also have not been eating as much as I normally would. As I talked about before on my channel, I am a scheduled eater, so I would eat at specific times during the day, 6 times a day. And I've really been skipping maybe 1 or 2 snack times. It's really like the 10 a.m. one. If I'm hungry, I usually just eat lunch now, and then I can make it pretty far and then not have to snack again. But if I don't, if I'm not hungry, I just don't eat. So I wonder when I go to the doctor next week if I'm gonna lose weight, or I don't know how that works because the baby's still gaining weight. So I don't know, we'll see. I have also been preparing for my maternity pictures this weekend, which I'm super excited about. I finally picked out a dress, but Marco still needs an outfit, so we're gonna do that tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we're gonna take the pictures, so I'm super excited. I think that's everything for this week's pregnancy update. I'm super excited about next week going to the doctor. They're gonna check me for dilation and effacement and a whole bunch of things, so I'm pretty excited for that. It just feels like it's getting so close when in reality I'm 2 days away from being 34 weeks, so she could come in like 2.5 weeks, and I'm so excited. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for this week's pregnancy update. You can stay tuned. I'm gonna do one every week, so hit subscribe if you're into that, and if not, that's completely fine. Like I said, it's nice to have a record of what's been going on weekly so I can watch it back and really see the changes. So all right, bye.